I'm not too sure now. Now we've got the red light showing on the starting gantry. The timer has inadvertently started ticking away. So the red lights are on the gantry for what will be 7 minutes plus an additional lap here at karting Genk. So the drivers now get into formation for the first of 3 Senior Max qualification heats here at karting Genk for the final day of the competition for the season. Lots to put on the line here. Dylan LaHaye comes in and with a bit of an advantage, I think, over Clayton Ravenscroft as some drivers just getting themselves into the zone. Charlie Turner doing a little bit of weaving on the outside of the second row, just trying to get himself steeled up and ready to go racing. So 7 minutes on the clock. Set in stone, which will start ticking away when we have the red lights on the starting gantry going out. The drivers in the 2x2 customary rolling start formation, as is known in Rotax racing circles. We go lights out for the first time, and it's a clean start, and it's 4 abreast at some points, heading into turns 1 and 2 for the very first time, and there is contact down in the mid part, and that's 3 karts involved. One's gone very wide and had to go a bit of grass tracking. The other 2 drivers now resume pointing the correct way around the circuit. One of them looks to be the 369 of Mads Rees. So Rees might have been an unwilling participant and had to try and take an avoiding action. But the leader's now coming down towards turn 7 for the very first time of asking. And it looks like it is a KR Sport 1, 2, 3. Charlie Turner looks to be in 4th position. And is battling away with Mick Knowlton. Knowlton goes up the inside of the Brit for position through the exit of turn number 8. And at the front of the field, it is, looks to be the 315 of Jason Lockwood. So you'll probably have Clayton Ravenscroft just behind in the 399, and then Will Jenkins in the 330. Mick Knowlton, Charlie Turner, then it's Andreas Hebert, and then you've got the 359 of Kieran Gifford just behind, as they come around to complete lap number 1. So a bit of a lead there for Lockwood. That's a great advantage that the Brits got in the early foray here. 0.671 of a second ahead of Ravenscroft. Jenkins, Knowlton, Turner, Hebert, Gifford, Brunsils, Harrison, Clementine Benoit gets past Guilherme de Oliveira for 10th position. Nick van der Mosselaar, 12th. Kian Sang, Stormblower, Mario Sidler, Tom Edmonds all the way down in 16th position. So it looks like Oscar Hall is one that's not going to be taking any further participation in this race. Probably didn't even make it out of the pre-grid. So 28 drivers still circulating. And Lockwood has got away like the proverbial wet-scalded cat and is now got a really good lead. And he's taking a wider line, as is Ravenscroft. Knowlton seems to get some real good pickup and purchase on the wet weather mojo tyres there. And some of the drivers still trying to battle amongst themselves, nearly 3 abreast going into turn 7. So Mick Knowlton having got past Will Jenkins for 3rd place and is closing down on the back bumper of Clayton Ravenscroft as we near the completion of lap 2, and he's sent it up the inside of the Brit on turn 11. That was an opportunistic move from the Dutchman, but Ravenscroft trying to fight back at the 304 from the Netherlands, running in the GKS Levens Power colours. So Turner is in 5th and has got Andreas Hebert from France chasing him down. Lockwood's gap now between him and Mick Knowlton is 1.5 seconds. And then it's Ravenscroft trying to get his way past and try and close the gap on Lockwood, who's clearly cantering away from the rest of the opposition. So Oscar Hall no longer taking any further part. Josh Powell languishing in the bottom end of the order in 28th. Lorenzo Stolker's got past Josh Powell for 27th. Eduardo Cosseteng's got past Ben Donkin for 17th place. Stormbro's got past Kian Sang for 13th. Sam Harrison making his way back a little bit further up the top 10 into 8th place, having got past Kieran Gifford for position. As it is just so tentative, you can just see how much some of these drivers are struggling with the conditions. But it looks like Jason Lockwood is just reveling in it. He's just absolutely loving this at the moment. But Mick Knowlton looks to have closed that gap, and by quite a considerable margin, I might add. It was 1.5 seconds. I think it could be round about a second, maybe 1.2, depending on how much purchase McNulton gets out of the final corner. It's 1.289 between first and second. Ravenscroft has dropped a little bit further back by about a second off, but still has a chance to keep himself in contention. He wants to get... Oh, there's a little... That was very close indeed between a couple of drivers there, and that is the squabble over what is third position and, fourth position, and that's being led now by Andres Hebel with Will Jenkins and Charlie Turner hot on the heels of the Frenchman at the moment as they go through turn 6. Charlie Turner takes the widest line on the outside of that turn in comparison to the two in front, but Jason Lockwood is not having it all his own way into the last 2.5 minutes, plus an additional lap. Lockwood now is going to find out that McNulton's going to start chasing him down. And the Dutch driver has firmly got the bit between the teeth and is going for it. He wants to end his season in the BNL karting series this year on a high. And the gap now is about 8 kart lengths as Lockwood gets better purchase coming out of turn 11. I think like Ravenscroft is probably just trying to consolidate P3. As Ilian Brunsils is having a great battle with Sam Harrison from the UK. Tries to go up the inside of the Brit. Harrison responds and keeps in front. Meanwhile, Will Jenkins is being closed on by Charlie Turner. And Turner sends it up the inside of the fellow Brit and takes the position. Nice work by Charlie Turner there, running on the 301 with Dan Holland Racing. And just behind them, they've got Sam Harrison, Ilian Brunsils, Kieran Gifford and Nick van der Mosselaar handing them as well. So there's going to be a lot of change at the from about 5th position onwards. But the battle for the lead, Mick Knowlton actually got that gap down to 0.747 and he is closing. He seems to get a little bit more traction sometimes and he uses that inside line that little bit better and he's trying to go for the lead. Lockwood's wise to it and gone, oh, no you don't, Sunshine. You're not coming through just yet. But Knowlton's saying, just wait for it, Jason. You won't see it coming. Well, with the rooster tail sprays that he's having thrown in his general direction from the rear tyres of Lockwood's kart, Knowlton's still putting on a show. He's going to do the same. He's gone up the inside and tried to take the lead, but Lockwood plants the throttle down firmly, goes round the outside of the Dutch driver and keeps the lead thus far. 50 seconds plus an additional lap. It is now game on for the victory here in the first of 3 qualifying heats. Knowlton, very, very tentative. I think he's just waiting, biding his time. Turn 8 has been the sweet spot for the 304. From the Netherlands, and well, that might be sooner than that because Lockwood's left rear tyre just absolutely clattered into the curbs on the inside of turn 3, and that allowed Knowlton to get the run on the Brit. They go through turn 6. Knowlton's going to have the slipstream advantage here. So, and it's getting very interesting a little bit further behind, because Charlie Turner has now got away, looks like from Will Jenkins. Andreas Hebel currently sitting in 4th place as Mick Knowlton is just has got the lead now. He must have done it through turn 8 then. So he now takes it, and this is the penultimate lap. It's now going to be a straight-out dogfight between the Netherlands and the United Kingdom as Jason Lockwood seems to get a better run coming out of turn 11. Not this time as Knowlton gets the power down early, but not too early that it compromises his run out of that corner. So he's got a lead of about 4 to 5 kart lengths as they come across the line for the penultimate time. 1 more lap to go. Knowlton's got a gap of just over half a second from Jason Lockwood. Ravenscroft a further 3.5 seconds adrift in 3rd. Andreas Hebel, Charlie Turner, Will Jenkins. Ilian Brunsils has got past Sam Harrison for 7th place. Kieran Gifford and Nick van der Mosselaar ran out the top 10 ahead of Guilherme de Oliveira. But behind Charlie Turner, the battle is well and truly on between Will Jenkins, Ilian Brunsils, Sam Harrison and Kieran Gifford. And that's the battle for what is effectively 6th position as Mick Knowlton comes through turn 7 for the final time in the first of 3. And Lockwood, that could have been very, very difficult for the Brits. He went towards the outside line of turn 7. The back end tried to step out, but he managed to control it and keep it planted on the black stuff as the battling drivers behind is now Sam Harrison is going side by side with Kieran Gifford, it looks like, for the position. Gifford gets past, Harrison loses out, but now it's 1 more corner to go and he's done enough. He struck whilst the iron was hot, did Mick Knowlton. Now the checkered flag is being prepared for the 304 from the Netherlands, who wins the first qualifying heat for Senior Max today. Jason Lockwood, an impressive second position. Clayton Ravenscroft in third. Then Andreas Heber and Charlie Turner round out the top 5. Will Jenkins keeps ahead of Ilian Brunsils, and there's a side-by-side drag race to the end, which looks to be have been between, I think, Stormborough and Clementine Benoit, possibly. But Mick Knowlton takes the win by 1.5 seconds from Jason Lockwood. Clayton Ravenscroft finishes nearly 5 seconds behind Knowlton in third place, ahead of Andreas Heber. Charlie Turner, Will Jenkins running at the top 6, fending off Ilian Brunsils to the end, who finished 7th, ahead of Kieran Gifford, Sam Harrison and Nick van der Mosselaar, who rounded out the top 10. Guilherme de Oliveira from Portugal in 11th. Stormborough in 12th. Clementine Benoit in 13th, ahead of Kian Sang. Mario Sidler rounds out the top 15 in this heat. And completing the 28 that finished this race would be Tom Edmonds, Eduardo Cosseteng, Ben Donkin, Teddy Clinton, Max Stemmerdink, Mats Ries, Ehad Turka, Lorenzo Stock, Victor Plateau, Tim Mikamets, Yash Ranjankan, Josh Powell and Georgios Bersis. So that concludes the first of 3 qualifying heats. Each Senior Max driver will be in a 2 of the 3 qualifying heats here today.